Hello. Hey, hi, I'm Karan. I'm designing a great course in Hadoop, which would be a great to start for all the beginners who want to learn Hadoop and data science and want to get their hand dirty in a lot of software development. This will be a first course that I'm designing right now. And with my experience, I have seen a lot of courses available, and the basic problem that I see in the course is either they lack in the implementation knowledge normally, or they do not fit well into the software design process, in my opinion. So suppose we learn just Hadoop and we do not understand the ecosystem, we cannot design a big data processing system end to end. So it's not just to learn a concept in Hadoop or more jargons, but rather you should put your hands more on work so that you understand and totally acknowledge all the concepts and you translate that actually in a binary code. Then only that does make sense, and you should know the best design also. Yes, exactly. This course belongs to only those people who wanted to do a complete course in Hadoop, learning all the ecosystem around with. Now, right now you're looking at my screen of Eclipse, and that take care of a lot of packages right now. So I'm designing this course. Like you see here, I have the first set of code that I have is to give you all the code of MapReduce and how does MapReduce fit into a complete big data software development design process. So what I did first, I give you all the lot of code examples. Like you see here is like more than 50 files that has been developed so far, and still I'm counting more. So it would be more than 100, I believe, should be, while I complete the one section on MapReduce, because my idea and understanding towards MapReduce to teach entire community would be to give you all the concepts of one significant problem and then concepts. I mean, you just understand the concept by running a program. So you actually understand, like, suppose I pick one example here, like a combiner. So you should understand what is combiner and how combiner works. So you need to understand how do we set combiner and how does combiner gets added in entire code. This is how the mapper and reducer we have. You will learn where we can optimize, where we can't use combiner. And right now you can see a lot of red on my screen on this, and that's because the code is running, and it's not code is running, but just it's getting compiled right now. So all the dependencies will be resolved. So ignore that part. And then let's dive into the core focus of discussion that we have. So like you see here, we have secondary sort, we have obvious problem, word count, and MapReduce that you see very easily available. With this course, one more focus I had was to show you on Hadoop 3, because Hadoop 1 is no more entertained in design software development, but Hadoop 2 is more on production right now, and Hadoop 3 is gaining popularity because now you will save your disk space also, which is eraser coding that has been introduced, and a lot more that we will see and dive into the course. Now, to give you one idea, I'll show you one of this thing is like, how does Hadoop fits to MapReduce? Like, you understand, you have, if you do not understand Hadoop, then also I just give you in a brief, like, okay, there's something like we call it Hadoop that can do a massive parallel processing of data. So you can do your filter, you can do your aggregations, you can sum up, you can do all sort of tricky, complex permutation combination of work on data processing, where the data is Parquet, Avro, ORC, or it's a Google protocol format, or even like plain text or CSV or structured, unstructured, anything. You can do all the work. So what you can do is, like, on this, you have to understand how does input format works. So like I give an example of text input format or a lot of inbuilt input format that Hadoop comes with, and imagine next day I give you an example. Hey, like, can you put the data through Hadoop to Elasticsearch? Now the question comes, we did all the things on Hadoop, which was a text input format and another input format. How does we write to Elasticsearch? So this is how how do you think on this problem statement? So tomorrow it can be a Cassandra, it can be MongoDB, it can be anything else. So how to approach this problem and what all basic constraint we should work on, I have covered entirely in my course, which with sample examples I can show you the code running and give you all the work that I have developed to you in this course. So a lot of codes you will find, a lot of great suggestions and best practices of code that you will find over the course. And let me show you one thing. People who already know Hadoop, and they will see and understand which is Hadoop. This is Hadoop driver class, which we have in Java. So what it does, it takes care of all the configurations, and here why these configurations are there. So like we have nodes or Elasticsearch. Why do we call this as a false, which is also very important configuration and that is needed. And very importantly, what is ES Hadoop mapper and ES output format. So like you see here, we have also the map output key class is a null writable. I have a lot of questions right now I'm throwing at you, but what you can take care and you can take a complete acknowledgement as these entire thing would be discussed in depth, and I'll show you the hooks and tricks of debugging aspect in this course throughout my entire journey of the code that I'll teach you. And with this, I'm not going to have just one course because this is the first sample course. I want to set up a ground for you to fly, and this course has been designed for both for Python developers as well as for Java developers. So whatever program you are seeing here right now in Java will be actually in Python also, and I'll show you how to mix up Python and Java together in Hadoop streaming examples also. So there are a lot more discussions which are pending, and I cannot cover in a couple of minute discussion on this because each of this item will take around a complete understanding and complete discussion. So feel free to jump into my class and get more there, and I'll see you there in class.